Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here representing Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness, and once again it is time for my client Gustav's vlog. But a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below, be greatly appreciated. If you're not subscribed or following, please do so, and if you'll be kind enough to drop me a comment down below, I would appreciate it so much. So what we're doing with him, and some people will say, well, why isn't he doing full body if he can only train 2 days a week? It's because it's back to back, and it's kind of at a point where, given that he has the weekends to train, and I had one of my regulars chime in and go, he better be working crazy hours if he can only train 2 days a week. He is. So his Monday through Friday is pretty much jammed up. So he's at a point where every aspect of his life would have to be compromised to try to get workouts in the middle of the week. And ultimately, we can make gains on 2 days, and I tell that to people, like a lot of you out there, could we get some gains on 2 days a week? Yes, I think 3, in some cases 4 is optimal, but we can make pretty good gains on 2 days a week. And so when he approached me with this, he did bring that up, will I be able to keep my gains on 2 days a week if we did like an upper lower during this period? And I'm like, no, dude, we can make gains. We can make gains, and here we are. So he does an upper on Saturday, then a lower on Sunday. As you guys see here, it's very straightforward. We focus on 4 big movements on the upper. I put the row in later because I downloaded it in the wrong order. I'm just going to leave it for now. But we do bench press, we do pull-ups, we do weighted dips, we do barbell row. Now, a lot of us could make a case for, dude, that's full week. We don't need the isolation. But in his case, we still continue to do it. And it's irrespective of, yes, I know there's some stuff that I've adjusted with my ideas and philosophies, and that's okay. In his case, though, we're still going to leave it in. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm going to say, when you're working with younger men like this, who really care about their physique, because he is physique oriented, that's his goal, I'm going to want to keep isolation in, because they're not going to want to not do it. And I think we need to always remember that too. And again, he is in the pursuit of aesthetics. So this is a case of, I am going to go with what my client desires and they need mentally. And I think this is something a lot of coaches have a bad habit of. If you're a niche coach who only coaches competitive powerlifters, that's different. I coach a wide enough variety of people. My personal philosophies are not relevant, right? In his case, he is in the pursuit of aesthetics, and he wants as good of a physique. He's like, I want to build the best body I can, completely drug-free. I want to have the most impressive physique possible, drug-free. Okay? So in that case, I'm going to continue to work some of the isolation work in, even if we could argue some of it is doing very, very little in the grand scheme of things, bringing out one planar angle. But he has literally told me he is paying me to give him the best physique he can have. And to get there, he's only been training at this point since I've had him, I think he's about 2 years total. He's been in a gym for 2 years, okay? So we're going to do this stuff, but I make him train hard on it. Here's the thing. Look at how he does his isolation work. He trains hard. Those are sets to failure. These are hard sets. So in that case, especially with us only training, getting 2 days in a week, we're going to do it. Now if I was doing a full body 3 day a week, I would say we don't necessarily need all of it. Let's just do dips and pullovers or whatever, But in his case, he is pushing it hard. And as long as he's willing to push them hard, I'm going to leave the isolation work in, Now, I want the other point to be made. We still focus a lot on body weight and barbell movements. Because if you look, it's like, okay, we have squat, bench, deadlift, barbell rows, right? We have weighted dips, weighted pull-ups. That's our foundation of his training, okay? Those are our foundational exercises. But we do throw in secondary work for him, and we're progressing on all of it, So we have laterals, curls, tricep extensions for the upper, right? Lower body, we have leg press, calf raise, leg curl, okay? So it is all still in there. You know, and again, and this would still be a typical bodybuilder routine. This is still, because again, we're doing upper lower, and if we were doing it 4 days, it would be more traditional. But we're only getting the 2 days. This is still what I would think of as a very traditional. You know, still what a lot of bodybuilders would do, natural bodybuilders still today, right? I'm not necessarily having them do my old school type training, but when you look at the way a lot of say natty pros or coaches who work with them, this is literally what a lot of their training looks like for their clients. Like people who are actually getting multiple natty pro card holders, men and women. I know some. This is very much how they have them trained too. Very similar to what we're doing here. Tends to be upper lowers built around big movements followed by isolation work, you know, and machine work in this case. But anyway we break it down, I would point out, no matter what our views are with the discussion of the efficiency of isolation, if it's necessary, it's also probably, it's not hurting him either. And again, I've made that point in those conversations that for most people it may not be a big deal, but what happens when a person is literally saying, I'm paying you to give me the best physique and as much muscle as I can stack on in every single area, and the best physique I can build without drugs. Well, in that case, doing some isolation at certain spots may be warranted. You know, even though I've kind of said I think most people don't need it, in his case, a young guy who's pursuing that, who may one day want to go do natural bodybuilding, and he's going to need as much muscle as we can build. I'm still going to leave it in. You know, even though a lot of my older clients who want to do more of the other full body stuff are not going to do it, right? We're just going to have them do barbells and body weight exercises and stuff for the most part, some of them. And I have some guys on stuff like that. Some of you guys know who you are if you're chiming in listening. But then for the lower body, obviously we do 3 sets of back squats, we do 1 hard set of deadlifts, 3 sets of leg presses, 3 sets of calf raises, leg curls. I'm having him superset like the calf raises with the leg curls to get out of there a little bit faster. So it's pretty much the whole training week. It's the 2 workouts. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.